morning.
Ready to kill a bear?
God, I hope so. So glad we shot a bear this morning.
Yeah, that was great.
Wasn't that great, guys? Really cool kill shot.
You gonna show me your new outfit?
Let's see all the crows.
I was gonna lose my mind this morning, they're so loud. Cubs. Cubbies, dude. Cubs.
8:06, just after light.
Let's watch as they eat all of Dan's bait. Oh, and there's another cub. Like 14 cubs. They were all excited.
They probably...
Wait. That was the night we were there.
Yeah, because yesterday was the first.
That's literally 15 minutes after we left.
Yeah.
They're barely as tall as the barrel.
Barely. There's all three. Good family outing.
Hey, you want to go to Uncle Dan's bait site? Eat all of his food and not leave a tip?
Holy crap, guys. I just got back to my car. Pretty exciting night. I heard some movement behind me and I'm like, holy, it's coming kind of quick. And I thought it was gonna be a bear, and turns out it was a doe, and she had crossed the path that I walked down in on. I was trying to get footage of her, but by that time she was in the woods far enough that I couldn't get the camera on her without you really being able to tell what it was. So I'm sitting there and I kind of feel like I can hear like jaws popping, but I have so many ravens or crows or whatever they are around me and they make all these different noises, and it's like hard to keep track of all the noises you're hearing. And I'm like, geez, that really sounds like a bear's jaws popping. All of a sudden, I can hear like footsteps, and I can tell that it's like more than one. So I'm like, oh my God, the bear's coming, and I'm like starting to shake, and I'm like, I want to put the camera on, but at the same time, I'm like, if any movement and they catch me, then they're probably gonna leave. And I had already chased them off the bait one time when I was baiting and putting my cameras on, so I didn't really want to do it again. And so sure enough, that sow and her 3 cubs ran right out. The cubs were pretty funny. They ran right in to the bait and it's like give me the food, and they just ran to the barrel, knocked the logs out really quickly, and then you can still hear mama bear behind just like popping her jaws and making all kinds of racket. And she comes out real slow and she's smelling everything. I think she just obviously wanted to make sure that the scene was safe. So she's circling around. She finally comes out in the open, and she kind of goes over to the bait a little bit, but she keeps she's looking in all directions. She's looking up at the trail that I come down. She doesn't really look up at the tree stand, but she's looking in the direction of my tree stand. And then one time she walked right towards my stand, and she was right underneath me and circled around my tree, and I was shaking like a leaf. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like still shaking. I'm like, partly I'm a little bit cold because it's like 50 degrees or whatever, but just the whole scene got me really excited. The cubs are on the bait and they're playing, kind of like wrestling each other to see who's gonna go into the bait and get the food first, and kind of going back and forth with each other, making all kinds of growling noise. I got some pretty good footage of that. I was able to turn my camera on really slowly. Mom kind of stayed in the bushes a little bit further. She gave me multiple opportunities. If she was a single, if she wasn't a mother, or if it was a boar, just kind of knowing, like, she gave me plenty of opportunities to take a shot. So if, one had come in, I feel pretty confident now, especially. But one thing that was kind of cool that she did that I didn't get on film was she went over to this little pine and stood up on her hind legs and started like scratching her back, like back and forth. It was pretty funny, and the tree's just sitting there shaking and rattling, and the cubs are in the bait, and they're just like, just having a good old time. And then one time a squirrel came out, and it was like making a ton of noise through the leaves, and it was kind of coming up from like my trail side kind of. So I don't know if they thought like maybe I was coming down, but the cubs took off, the mom took off, and the cubs climbed up the tree like right next to my trail camera. And then they like kind of settled down and figured out that it was a squirrel, and then they came back in and ate a little bit. I don't know how much footage I got of them, but I think I got about maybe like a half hour or so. The angle on the camera doesn't change. I just had it zoomed in, and then I just, quickly press record without trying to get noticed. I thought I had enough cover, but I wanted to be safe because I wanted to, kind of learn and watch. At the end there was just one cub like still hanging around, and I did zoom in on him while he was, pretty much his whole body was in the barrel. It was a really, really cool. So just a really exciting night. If I don't end up getting a bear, like that in itself just made it all worth it. Just getting to experience that. I mean, if you haven't tried to bear hunt, I swear there's nothing like it. I'm just sitting there shaking. Like it's crazy what it does to you. Pretty crazy night. Finally got a little bit of action where I actually got to watch them, and they didn't know I was there, and I didn't spook them away. I tried to stay as late as I could. I stayed till like 7:07, and then it just legals ended at 7:11, but I can't see anything by like 7 o'clock. So I stayed a few more minutes hoping that maybe that bigger boar would come out, but nothing. But still a very eventful night, way more exciting than any other night that I've had down here so far on this bait site. So hopefully I got a couple more days. Hopefully it'll keep picking up. I got to bring some more bait down now because they just ate all of it. So I'll probably be back either tomorrow or Friday and try to get some fresh bait for them. September 21st, last day of bear season. I wasn't gonna go out this morning, but I was talking to my wife about it. She was like, well, if you don't go out in the morning and one shows up on your camera in the morning, you're gonna regret it. And I was like, you're right. Even though I don't feel real well, I got a sore throat and I'm a little stuffy, I figured it would be nice to get a little bit of rest here, but I definitely won't get a bear in bed, so. So I just got home. That's a wrap for the 2019 bear season. I wasn't able to harvest a bear this year, so I was a little bit unsuccessful in that sense, but I did learn a lot. So I got some things that I'll do differently next year a little bit, and I did get 9 bear, including the 4 cubs, on my bait site. So in a way that was successful. I got to see some bear while I was in the stand, and got to scare some bear off while I was baiting. So overall, it was a good experience. I think the turning point for the season was when the sow and the 3 cubs and the other sow and the other cub showed up. After that, I didn't really see the boars anymore. I know that probably the boars could come in even if they wanted to, but I rarely saw them. And then I think after, like with that going on and then all the natural feed this year, I just think it made for a tough year. And I know a lot of other people struggled, but then again, I know a lot of people that got bear too, so just the way it is, that's hunting, I guess. So I will definitely try again next year and see what happens. So no excuses. I mean, I missed 4 days where I could have been out, but I mean, I did put my time in. Like, I spent 8.5 hours in a tree stand today. I mean, I only missed probably 4, maybe 5 evenings. Other than that, I was in the stand almost every night, just wasn't meant to be, I guess. So now my focus is shifting to the archery season. This is going to be my first year using a bow, so I'm really excited to get into that, and I'm excited to be back in the stand with Zach. We always have a good time together, so I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully our deer season goes a lot better than my bear season has gone. So we'll obviously keep you posted, but thanks for watching.